This is the Hub on Hollywood. I'm James.
I'm Jamie.
And we love movies.
Oh, James. There's so much that is finally coming out. There's so much that is finally coming out, in particular from the Marvel Universe. And we are excited to be talking about WandaVision, one of the many projects that are coming to Disney Plus. So this is now out live. That's one of the first things that we're going to be talking about today. What else are we talking about?
The first TV series of the MCU.
Yeah.
But we will get into that, as well as casting calls, as well as this show that I've been kind of sleeping on. I've been hearing for years, for the last 2 years, that it's a great show, but haven't had the time to get around to it. I have finally gotten around to Cobra Kai, which is now on Netflix, that came out with season 3, and I'm in love with it. It may be my new favorite show at this moment, and so
great.
I can't wait to talk about that.
Cool.
But yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode. As we mentioned, I'm James, she's Jamie, and you're watching us either on Facebook or YouTube. Thank you so much for watching. Please please smash that subscribe button. If you're listening to us on any of the major podcasting streaming services, that would be either iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the major streaming ones. Thank you so much for listening. And you can also find us on social media on Twitter and on our Instagram at Hub on Hollywood. Also, Facebook. Yes.
Facebook, that's right. So wonderful to see you. We missed you desperately. So let's get into this, James. Let's get into this. So earlier in this very short year, we talked about this massive announcement out from Disney Plus. I believe it was 10 plus television shows for the MCU and 10 other ones for Star Wars, and it was just so crazy. WandaVision is the first one that is coming out featuring the very, actors from from
the Avenger movies.
Yes,
yeah,
from the Avengers.
I got you. We have
All
Elizabeth
right.
Olsen. We have Paul Bettany. And they're back in their perfect Wanda and Vision form, and even better. This is, as we were just mentioning, unlike anything we've ever seen so far, especially in this format.
Yeah, very strange. And so basically, we find Wanda and a very alive Vision, which, if you've watched the previous Avengers movies, you would know Endgame.
that that's something very odd to see a very alive Vision. But we find them both in this weird 1950s, 1960s kind of sitcom style TV show, black and white, smaller screen format, and we're thrown right into the deep end without a lot of answers. Were you caught off guard by just how weird and abrupt it was?
Yeah, very strange, James. Very strange. So it's sort of like we're beginning in a 1950s sitcom, like you said, black and white, very sticky.
Which I think they nail. I think they nail it.
Yeah, and the actors themselves were saying that they were absolutely terrified. They were terrified. I think it was Paul Bettany saying that he didn't know if this was going to work. He didn't know if this was going to ruin his career or what, because it is absolutely bizarre. And like you said, we have no explanation of what is going on. Now, I have to be honest, James, the romance between Wanda and Vision, who, as you recall, was created with the Mind Stone, etc., not my favorite part of the MCU. I didn't really care about this couple so much.
It felt squeezed in.
Yeah, it felt very squeezed in, very rushed, very kind of like, but he's a robot? And does he even have the equipment? Maybe that's not the first thought you had, but anyways, it just seemed odd to me, and I wasn't really that into this relationship. But I think they've put together something that is a mystery. It's a mystery. I have no idea what's going on, so it's totally different from what you would have expected, and that's a good thing, James, because I think a major criticism of the MCU is that they're becoming formulaic, that the villains and the bad guys are all very predictable, and nothing about what this is seems to be predictable.
Yeah, and you were touching on it and going into it, the chemistry between Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany during the movies. Yeah, we didn't see that much, love and interaction, and we did see, how Elizabeth Olsen, a very great actress, so she was able to convey that emotion, but we just didn't see on screen that personal connection that they had. However, the chemistry that they have on the show from my perspective, I think it's perfect. And this is the thing that we would have seen in the movies if there was extra time for that to be in the plot. But Paul Bettany, Elizabeth Olsen, WandaVision, those two characters, they bounce off each other very, very well. And so, yeah, so far a lot. The first two episodes have primarily stuck to the TV sitcom format, like I Love Lucy or Leave It to Beaver. And so we
I'm so sorry. Can we go into spoilers a little bit here?
Yeah. So spoiler alert. We're gonna spoil some stuff. So this is the first two episodes of WandaVision.
Right. Okay. So yes, as you were touching on, we're starting in that TV sitcom, and you kind of come into it, and the Wanda and Vision are just as confused as the audience. So that has people wondering whether or not did she create this world? Obviously, it seems like Wanda has created this world or has been forced into this fake world, and maybe did so in a hurry because Wanda and Vision don't seem to know how they got there, when they were married, how they got to the city. There's just a lot of holes. All they know is that they love each other and that they're together. Vision goes to a job and he doesn't know what he does at his job. He doesn't know what his job is, and that leads to a lot of comedy, which I appreciated. So I think it's very smart. And I think that it helps build up this sinister feeling. I mean, I think there's a lot of comedy. It's very fun, but towards the end of each episode, it builds up in this very sinister way. And so for the first episode, I wanted to get your thoughts on this. Vision's boss and his wife come over for dinner, and that 70s show mom is
played by
the mom
Kitty.
Yeah, that's amazing.
The actress who plays Kitty in that 70s show.
And they start asking them, why are you here? Where did you come from? When's your anniversary? Like, damn it, man, give me answers. And then the boss starts choking, and it just gets very scary. It gets very scary. And then, and just as suddenly as it happens, as soon as Wanda makes the decision to change what is happening, it's all over. They forget what's happened, and then they go back to the very formulaic, 50s sitcom, like, you're in for a promotion, buddy, and it just ends. And we see that in the second episode also. What was your reaction when you saw that, and what are your theories? And we can start getting into theories.
So I think, I do believe that I think Wanda is trying to forget the trauma of what happened in Avengers Infinity War when Vision was killed by Thanos. And so I do think this is some sort of combination of her controlling this world, trying to, again, cope with the loss of her love, and doing it this way is the best way that she can cope with that. But I also think that, as you mentioned, the sinister aspect of it at the end of each episode, there are hints that Wanda may be, I think, also under a coma or under an experiment or observation where people are trying to help her. They're trying to reach her. And I think there might be a combination of her creating this world to try to cope with the reality of what happened. And there's also these people that we don't know yet, but they are trying to either extract information or try to get something, obviously, from Wanda. And so the big question is Vision really back? Because Wanda does have the apparent ability to kind of play with multiverses, as we're going to be
reality,
apparently, seeing more with Doctor Strange and whatnot, and possibly in the new Spider-Man movie. But we know that she has the capability of manipulating reality. So is he really back? Is it just a figment of her imagination? So I think she does have some control, but I think at points she herself forgets that she's in it until, again, something weird happens and pulls her back instead of realizing.
It felt to me like there are two forces, maybe even three forces at work here, like you mentioned herself. But it seems like maybe someone is monitoring her, that whatever sinister organization, maybe she's been captured, maybe she's in a coma, like you said, and they're trying to get to her. There was the man in the beekeeping outfit, and it was very scary, and someone is trying to get to her, I think in a bad way, and I think someone is trying to rescue her, because then there was the voice that came over the radio in the second episode, was like, Wanda, who's doing this to you, Wanda? Who's doing this to you? And I couldn't tell if it was like Captain America, or if it was was Clint, or like whose voice was that? Who was trying to reach her? So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on there, but I think it also seems like as the episodes are going on, we're moving forward in time. We're moving forward in
TV
the
land
eras of television sitcoms. Very creative idea. I hope it works. As far as theories go, and in the second episode, she's pregnant. She's pregnant. And I know in the comics, she had 2 children. She had twins. So if she has the ability to bend reality, can she bend reality enough to make real children and make a real new version of Vision? Because, like you said, Vision is dead at the end of the Infinity War, and at the end of Endgame, when they bring everyone back, Vision is not among those who was brought back because it wasn't killed in the snap. And I think they use the Mind Stone from the alternate reality of Loki, but Vision doesn't come back. You know what I mean? There is no new Vision. So can she bend reality enough to bring Vision back and create new children and make this world real? Is she that powerful? Do you know about her in the comics? I don't know as much about Wanda in the comics, but I'm given to understand that she is one of the most powerful.
Yeah, that's right. And so that she has the possibility, and whether how far the MCU is going to go into that, that's yet to be seen. But as of right now, again, this could all be happening in her head. And so this may not even be possibly, multiverse dimensional bending. However, there is one thing where in the second episode they have this talent show. The person who's leading the talent show, this African American actress, or this character, she is actually the younger. We've seen this character before in Miss Marvel. She played a younger girl, obviously in the 90s. This is apparently that same character. So it seems like she grew up knowing of the Skrull. There are superheroes going on. She probably joined this organization called SWORD, I believe, which is the acronym, pretty much the Avengers for Outer Space. So it seems like she's going into the mind. So this may not be inherently dealing with multiverses right now. We may just be in Wanda's mind, and of course she can control it however she wants. So we may be seeing that. I know the reaction pretty much has been pretty positive for the first 2 episodes so far. The only criticism I've heard is that, if you're not caught up completely with the rest of the MCU movies, you're just watching a 1950s, 1960s sitcom show. And again, they're playing it very, very well. And so these are some of the jokes and setups that you would actually see if you're watching I Love Lucy or something. And so for people new, it's different.
Another part that I really liked that I thought was pretty clever was them getting in the 1950s commercials. And all of these commercials kind of relate back to the MCU. There was Stark Industries, and there was another one. So I think that's also very clever. And if you want to go really in depth into it, you can, analyze those and see where they link to. But I think that they've got a really unique idea here. I hope that they don't jumble it. It's kind of hard to follow.
I think they have a good plan.
Yeah, I hope so.
For something this complicated, I would hope that they have some kind of map drawn out. And so I have faith in them in the MCU. Yeah. They've done a really good job so far. So I'm cautiously optimistic.
I appreciate them doing something different. I really, really do. And this kind of makes me really excited for the Multiverse of Madness, and how that's going to be like a horror thriller, and this is kind of like a weird mystery, sinister mystery. So they're playing with genres. It's a breath of fresh air. I welcome the creativity. I welcome the experimentation, which you only have the freedom to do when you have something as successful as the MCU. So I'm digging it.
So
it's a little
kudos
weird,
to the
but
MCU.
I'm digging it.
Kudos to Disney. Even more money for you guys.
Yeah,
great job.
More money. Like this Disney sweater I bought. Yeah.
Well, let's try to help you get some more money because they're looking for people to walk in the background and even some talking, speaking roles for these casting calls that we have. But yeah, so do you want to go into the first casting calls? I have two lined up.
Yeah, so here in the Massachusetts region, in the New England region, we've got a very robust Hollywood East, they call it, because there's so many movies, so many TV shows that come here, and we try to bring to you as many castings as we can, so that you, like James said, we can put a little bit of money in your pocket, because that's how much we love you. So let's start with a project called The Gilded Age. Now, this is shooting in Newport, Rhode Island, starting in late February. This is Grant Wilfrey casting. They're looking for background actors set in... This is from the creators of Downton Abbey, so this is set in the 1880s. Very exciting. So you get to wear the big hoop skirts. You get to wear all of the very old-timey clothes and whatnot. That's always an experience. I was in Little Women. I was a background actor in Little Women. So much fun. So many corsets.
It only took you 16 hours to get in and out of that dress, right?
Yes. Oh, my goodness. So I'm kind of like walking in the background on a beach scene in a little blue dress. It was very painful, James. So many corsets, like I said, but a great experience.
Dedication. That's dedication.
Yes, right there. Exactly. So you have to have natural colored hair, 2 to 4 inches below the shoulders if you're a woman. If you're a man, nice and neat. If you want to go ahead and submit for that, they're looking for people of all kinds. They're looking for Caucasian female kitchen maids, 20 to 40 years old. They're looking for women to portray upscale society women, men who are very clean cut to play footmen, and men and women for general background. So plenty of options there for you guys if you'd like to do that. It's Gilded Age at gwcnyc.com, and you're going to want to write SAG posting Newport shoot. So this is they're looking for SAG actors. And you're going to want to send all of your information to them, your name, your phone number, your SAG ID, current photos, and height, weight, sizes. You're going to want to send that to Gilded Age at gwcnyc.com for that opportunity. You want to hit one and I'll hit another one?
Yeah, we have Boston Casting searching for 18 to 21-year-old men with wrestling experience. Have you gone in there? Have you gone toe-to-toe to the mat wrestling? What are some other...
Does wrestling small children count? Does wrestling
yes,
5-year-old count as experience?
Technically, it counts as experience, but this is a TV project, a paid opportunity that shoots between February and July. This is both a SAG non-union job. So what you're going to have to do is send your headshot, your resume, your wrestling experience, and your location where you live to Boston Casting Submit 4 at gmail.com, bostoncasting-submit4@gmail.com. It's been a while since I've wrestled with cousins in the brinca brinca, in the inflatable.
Yeah. In the jump, yeah.
In the jumper, yeah.
That's awesome. I did take a judo class in college, but I don't know that qualifies me for anything except having people sit on me, which is all that happened because I'm itty bitty, and yeah, all they did was sit on me. Anyways. Here's a fun one, James. Here's a fun one. If you have no self-conscious issues, if you're very confident in yourself, Judith Bully Casting is looking for great people, men and women between the ages of 20 and 85 for an amazing scene, they say, in a new Netflix movie. However, you need to be completely naked. This involves full nudity. Not sexual, it's for a funny scene, they said, that is going to be tastefully done in a warm soundstage interior in Weymouth. Everybody will get bathrobes in between takes, but everybody gets to be completely and fully naked in this scene of about 45 people. The pay is $3,000, but that is because, James, you need to sequester in their hotel for 10 days before the shoot date. That means you get... you get paid to stay in a hotel for 10 days, but you also, you can't do anything. You can't work. You can't leave the hotel. You can't be with family. So it's tough. That's a commitment.
Plus, you got to get naked. But if you're okay with that, then that may not be the worst part.
If you're okay with the naked part, they make it sound like it's going to be really fun and memorable and cool. So if that's your thing, if you're interested.
I think I would need a little more than $3,000 to bear it all.
Yes. You know what? Yeah. I think it should be a little bit more than $3,000.
This is valuable. This is priceless right here. You gotta buy tickets to the gun show.
The tickets are more than $3,000. They take it. Okay. So you're going to want to send a candid photo, no nudes. Do not send naked pictures to them. A bathing suit picture? Fine. A sundress? Yeah. Okay. No nudes, but send a picture. Exactly. That shows your body in a bathing suit, covering the important parts, to Judith Booley Extras at gmail.com. That's Judith, standard spelling. Booley is Bouley extras at gmail.com. And you're going to send a picture of yourself, your name, your phone number, your email, your height, your resume, all of that. And in the subject line, you're going to write your name and stripped bear scene. So, good luck.
Good luck. We are looking, Boston Casting, lastly, we are looking for curvy and plus-size women, 20 to 50 years old, women who are glamorous, who come in all shapes and sizes. You know who you are. You're out there. Send a full-length photo of yourself, a glamorous outfit of yours, contact information, send all that to Boston Casting Submit number 9, Boston Casting Submit 9 at gmail.com.
All right, so many opportunities for so many different kinds of things out there here in the New England region, James.
Now, you were bringing up that you didn't do wrestling growing up. You did what type of?
Well, I did 4 years of Aikido. I'm
Aikido.
Aikido, which is a Japanese martial art, and it's about redirecting people's energy. It's more about, you don't have to be strong. You don't have to hit people. You don't have to hold them down. It's more about using your opponent's energy against them and then running away, which is perfect for me because I have no strength. But it's not about using strength, so that's great. So I have Aikido, I have a little bit of Judo, and then just wrestling my brothers and my son.
The WWF wrestling. Well, I don't want to brag and everything and all, but as a child, I did practice the martial arts form of karate. And for a whole year. And I have a picture, me breaking a plastic board to prove it.
Oh, look at that.
So that may be why I love Cobra Kai, the show. That's the third season, just debuted on Netflix.
Transition. Seamless transition.
Seamless. It's like a karate chop. So quick. Can't even see it. That transition. No, Cobra Kai, this is the third season, so I'm a little late to the party, but you know what? At least I showed up. This follows after 34 years after losing the All-Valley Karate Championship, Johnny Lawrence, he decides to reopen the Cobra Kai dojo while his school adversary, Daniel LaRusso, runs a successful auto business. There's so much to say about the show. I'm already 7 episodes into the first season. There are 10 episodes in each one, and it's amazing. I saw The Karate Kid as a child, and I haven't seen it since, but I've watched a recap of it. But you really don't need to have seen the movie because they do a really good job of recapping what happened 34 years ago. But the entire cast is fantastic. You have Ralph Macchio reprising his role as Danny LaRusso, the Karate Kid. William Zabka, who is now playing the lead character in this series, coming back as Johnny Lawrence. And he pretty much decides, as I mentioned, to open up the dojo, help out these losers, and the way he goes about it is just like the Cobra Kai style, where it's no mercy, all pain. But even though he's showing a lot of tough love, there is a little bit of love in there. There is love in there, and so this show, a lot of heart. All the characters, all the actors are amazing. So if you haven't watched Cobra Kai, again, my girlfriend and I are binging right through it, and I could not speak more highly of this new show.
Yeah. Is there a lot of waxing on and
waxing off? There's a lot of waxing on and off, and a lot of this action, a lot of this this action. Got some
yeah,
good action in there.
How about
And
some of this? And
yeah, that too.
little
The
bit of
action, the
that, a little
actual
bit-
action is good too, and so that's also a plus side into it. And it's not cheesy, but it's campy. It's the action and the story is just campy enough, kind of like the Karate Kid, the original movie. It's campy enough to, I don't know, just it's endearing. It's a little wholesome. So I recommend it.
Now, I know that this originally came out on YouTube. This was
Yes.
like a YouTube series, and now it's on Netflix.
Yeah, so I believe it came out on YouTube TV, where if you subscribe to the YouTube service, YouTube started really investing more in original content. And one of the first shows that came out was Cobra Kai. And one of the things that I had heard repeatedly was that this show should not be as good as it is. It shouldn't be as good as it is, especially for being on YouTube and for being a movie 30 years after the Karate Kid. It shouldn't be this good, but it is.
That's great. So my
now
husband
they transitioned
really
to Netflix.
Yeah, my husband really wanted to watch it, and we haven't gotten around to it. But now you have inspired me, James. You've inspired me.
Recommend
it sounds good. I wasn't, 100% sure about it. But I mean, anything. Are there nostalgic?
It's really fun. It's really fun. They have some flashbacks but the story, the future, the progression of the story, and seeing these characters, each character, obviously there are characters that butt heads because like Danny and Johnny, their feud, it gets sparked up again, but you understand where each person is coming from their own perspective, and you understand like, okay, so no one's really a bad guy. There are just bad things happening or bad ways reacting to somebody doing something or saying something, and so nobody's really a bad person. So that's why I like every character in this movie, even though they may do something wrong or bad. You almost just as quickly see another side or perspective of them, and that's very true to every real life. You and I and everyone out there. We could make mistakes or whatnot, but it doesn't mean you're like a bad person or that it was intentional miscommunication. But this show's really good at doing that. And so, I can't speak highly of it. I'm really excited to end season 1 to move on to 2 and 3.
Good humanity, good depth. I cannot wait. Are you learning any karate, James? Are you any?
It's all coming back to me. It's all coming back to me.
Yeah. All right.
With every swipe and wax on.
Just watch out for the coffee table. Like, don't break your coffie table, okay? You need that. Like.
Yeah, no. I need to watch these. These are registered deadly weapons.
My God.
I need to watch out now.
Scary. Oh no. All right, James. I think we've talked enough.
All right. Well. Until next time, we'll be karate chopping away, but you better karate chop those comments and karate chop that like and share button. But thank you so much for watching us. Please like, please follow. Again, you can listen to us on any of the major podcasting streaming service, iHeartRadio, Spotify, etc. Follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, @HubOnHollywood, and smash that like.
With the front kick.
With the front kick.
Preferably.
Eagle.
And you better you guys better be practicing, man, because we're coming after you, okay? All right. Yep. Good luck with getting. Good luck with getting cast. Come to us for more. Let's have some more fun. All right. I'm Jamie.
I'm James. Cobra. Bye.
Oh God. Oh God.